All right, what's up, y'all? Oh, fuck. This is Sunny. Let me give a brief summary of how I traded this, and then I'll go into details. I pretty much traded stock horribly. Yes, I profited on it. I profited $736, but each time I was up, I wouldn't take gains. Um, it just wasn't something. There's like something was going on with me where it's like greed. I don't know if it was greed or expectations or just my imagination. Excuse me. But when it came to time to take trades, I wouldn't take it, thinking it would go up more or thinking it just wasn't enough. And the stock kept crashing down. I went from being down a little bit to being up substantially, then back down. Um, um, two, three, $400, being back up 1,000, back and forth constantly, up and down. And it was a very frustrating trade. Um, even Bryce Tui was saying the same thing. It was a difficult trade because it was very choppy. Um, he traded it. He took a small loss on it, but um, I wasn't really happy with how I performed, and um, um, I really didn't like how I performed with it. And uh, I posted it. I wanted to give myself like 300 burpees for my undiscipline, but I am injured in my leg with my hamstring or sprained it, and I'm struggling to walk. I don't want to exercise or do anything. I just want to heal. So going into this trade, um, of course, it was a pre-market winner. I don't remember what percentage it was up at the time, but it was up substantially. As you can see here, it was up from the close at 6, so it was up from the 770s, and it went up to a high of 15, so that's 100%, over 100%. Before the offering you see here, they didn't do an offering yet, but they're up on some. I think it wasn't the FDA approval because that's a different stock. Um, it was on some, yeah, probably some, yeah. So positive phase one, which is just the beginning, like what's his name said, Lento said. But they're up on some phase one news, and I did some digging to look at it float, and un uh, uh not applicable float, but I mean outstanding. But the float was ranging from 12 million to 29 million. Um, and then when I did my before there was a float, I looked at the news. You know, um, the news said, where is it? Somewhere here where they had their phase one, um, clinical phase one trials. So it was a phase one, and it was reacting positive to it. I didn't really understand it too much, but that's what it was. Then I looked at its most. I looked all the way down to I think a year or more to see if they had any 424Bs, and they did, of course. Before that one, they had this one right here in the effects. I knew they were dumping shares. Um, and then the latest 10K or 10Q gave me this information that they had 33 million outstanding, and I remember looking at their I think it was their warrants or their offerings. I looked at something, and I went along. and I'm still getting used to learning what how to read SEC filings and stuff. But I went along towards the end of it. Um, I don't think I seen this ATM offering program. I think I missed that, but something else caught my attention that they had shares to dump, and I told myself not to stay long into it. Yeah, and they had shares to dump. So on July 14th, I don't think this is what I was reading, but I think it is that they had shares to dump. So me playing this, I told myself to play this carefully, and as I played it carefully, what I decided to do was actually follow my rules. So I didn't meet my requirements of um, entering pre-market. And I don't remember what time I got to it, so I definitely didn't want to get in, in here. But I told myself, okay, because it has, an offering and all that, and it's done offerings before, and the flow is higher, don't get in pre-market. My plan was to get in at the 9:45 to 10 o'clock range, and silly me, I didn't do it. So I saw it spiking, and it caught my attention. I just got drawn into it, and I went in with what 300 shares, I guess, but 300 shares at a $15 price range. Um, I got in at 14.57, thinking it was gonna spike, which it did, and I think I was up. I can't remember. The highest point of this was practically 15, I mean 16. So let's do the math real quick. Um, and I trust me, I missed so many times. I missed so many times to to uh, to get out of this stock. I had 300 shares at the time. I was up $420. Now my goal was to get a 10 to 15% gain in this trade, uh, which will be 75 cents to $1.50, which I got damn near, and I didn't take my gains, but it also came crashing down. So this was my first chance to get out of the stock. Let me see if I can delete that and put a different symbol there. No, clear. How do you remove this shit? Okay, so I wonder how you can put like different shit on this. I don't know, man. My stomach is fucking killing me. Oh my gosh, I gotta take a mean shit. Fuck. So here was my first point to get out, but it was too fast. It spiked and immediately dropped back. And as I go into this trade, you'll see it does it many times. And the yearly chart, let me go on to the yearly chart before I continue. The yearly chart shows the same thing. Will spike, come back down, um, or was it the 2 year chart? Um, Maybe this was a different stock, but it was probably another stock. But I mean, hold on. The yearly chart, it was telling me something. I forgot what it was telling me. But here's a liquidity trap right here. This shit's gonna spike probably in the next few days. Something was telling me something about the stock. I can't remember, but um, as I go on here, the stock spiked, came back down too fast. Notice I got in before my 9:45 mark, um, making me not follow my rules and not follow the plan. So Then I got a second chance to get out for a dollar gain, which would have been just three. Well, I added actually. Um, After this big drop, I thought it was going to spike. It spiked again, and it broke past pre-market highs. So I'm thinking it was going to run up. So on this pullback, I'm like, let me add. It's going to set a higher low, and then I'm in for a run. So I got in, and I added, and it pulled back, broke even, or I was down some, I believe. I think my average now was, I don't remember. I can't remember, but it was like damn near 1450 roughly, and then it spiked, and I was up a certain amount. I can't remember, but it was worth it for me to get out. I was up a bit more, or roughly the same amount, and I didn't get out. Then it pulled back, and now it was, and it broke this point. Right, I gotta take a shit. I can't hold this no more. Fuck, I think I fucked up.